Nearly a week ago, a 15-year-old pregnant elephant died a very painful death in Palakkad district in Kerala. She ate a pineapple that was filled with explosives, after which her jaw was damaged. And nearly 2 weeks after that, after not being able to consume any food, she died in a river. Central government has now sought a report from the Kerala government on this killing. And we are also joined by Praveen Bhargav, a wildlife expert, joining us live from Bengaluru right now. The latest, Praveen, that we are tracking as far as this case is concerned, that there is a probe going on and SIT has been formed. And even though initially there were some attempts to try and suggest that the main cause of the elephant's death was not this kind of barbaric act where a fruit with explosives was given to her, it has been accepted as far as the post-mortem is concerned that the elephant was unable to consume anything for 2 weeks, after which she died such a tragic death. I just want to ask you first up, overall, the issue that has come to light with this tragic death is of the human-animal conflict, especially of the kind being witnessed in Kerala, where wild boars are being targeted with such fruits. In this case, the elephant became the unfortunate victim, but overall it points out to these tactics not really being the best that can be employed.
Actually, it's really good that the media has picked this issue up. But the point is that the stark reality is that such hunting using what we call as baited explosives is going on a massive scale across the country. It is not just baited explosives, there is snaring, trapping, deadfall traps, and even live electric wires are being used. But these are hardly reported, and no investigation is taken up in most of the cases, though we have an excellent act in the form of the Wildlife Protection Act, which prescribes an imprisonment period of up to 7 years in case of Schedule 1 animals like the elephant, which has unfortunately died in Kerala.
Right. Praveen, can you elaborate a little bit of what is the onus really as far as the Kerala state government is concerned? It's been a week, and only after national outrage has the government woken up out of its slumber. It's obviously now scampering to show that it is taking an action, but the action seems to be already too late. There have been no arrests. Some interrogations have taken place. But given what is provided for the state, what is the onus on the state government currently? What do you expect them to do?
The responsibility lies entirely with the state government and the forest department. As you rightly pointed out, we have lost precious time, and 7 days is a lot. A lot of evidence will get wiped out. And I think there are serious irregularities in how this case has been handled. And it's a matter of very serious concern, because it would be well known to the local officers as to which village would have indulged in such a barbaric act. Yes, the elephant had come out, but they had no business to use such baited explosives. And therefore, Kerala government is completely responsible for inaction on this part. And it is not the central government, because the law enforcement is a state subject, and states are responsible, and Kerala has a lot to answer on this.
Praveen, can you also just, take us through the apathy that has been witnessed in this case? For a state like Kerala to be so apathetic to a killing, and such a barbaric one, of an elephant, it's quite shocking. And also, for the benefit of our viewers, talk about why it is important for all of us to come together and protect the elephant.
Absolutely. Elephant is facing two threats. One is killing in this form in conflict situations, and hunting for tusks, ivory, which is organized wildlife crime. And it gets into the illegal trade, which is second only to narcotics. It's estimated to be $20 billion. So these people, the criminal elements and mafias, are not going to smile at some notification or a presentation made or education programs. Strong law enforcement is called for. And there is one theory that, local people are living harmoniously with wildlife. That is not the case. There are serious conflicts, and these conflicts have to be addressed apart from cracking down on these mafias and people who are indulging in such barbaric acts, from a landscape approach to saving elephant habitats. And this will involve voluntary resettlement of people in the deep interiors of forests to eliminate or minimize conflict, and also planning our development projects in a manner which doesn't intrude into elephant habitats, which is forcing elephants to stray all over the place and bring it into conflict with human settlements and human artifacts and so forth. So we need to look at this very, very carefully, and there is huge amount of funding available. There is a fund called CAMPA, which is already 48,000 crores have been distributed to state governments in about a year ago. And nobody is applying this money to consolidate elephant corridors and elephant habitats. And this is the need of the hour, because constantly we hear that compensatory afforestation, we are planting trees. That is not going to make any dent on the problem. We need to consolidate elephant habitats and corridors. They have been identified. All the data is available with the government, both state and center, but there is complete inaction. And second, the National Board for Wildlife, which is supposed to ensure that elephant habitats are not intruded by development projects, has completely failed. They are clearing, their project clearance rate is about 99%. And this is a matter of serious concern.
Absolutely. Praveen, finally, I want to ask you, what is the kind of action that you're expecting? What is the punishment that should be meted out to those who have, whether willingly or unwillingly or, consciously or inadvertently, have ended up taking this life? The elephant was pregnant here, and the barbaric way in which she had to die has obviously attracted a lot of national outrage. We hope the state government will act. But do you believe there will be punishment accorded in this case? And what should that punishment be?
Certainly punishment will be accorded by courts, because courts are viewing these kind of acts very, very seriously. As I said earlier, we have an exceedingly strong law which a magistrate can imprison somebody for up to 7 years. They're not just the person who did this act or a group of persons, even the abettors can be booked, and they will also be liable for 7 years of imprisonment. And the act is extremely strong, but the point is that the investigation has to be concluded, and concluded fast. The evidence must be completely marshaled properly, and the post-mortem report is very, very crucial. And I'm pretty certain that if the case is brought quickly before the courts are going to act.
And that's precisely where the onus will be on the state government. Instead of acting like victims here, as Pinarayi Vijayan tried to do by suggesting that there was some sort of a hate campaign being unleashed against them or against Kerala because of the national outcry for justice in this case, it would be more prudent for the state government and its leaders to ensure that there is swift justice in this case, to set an example for such activities that are going on rampantly in Kerala and perhaps in other parts of the country as well. Praveen Bhargav, thanks a lot for speaking to Republic TV.